What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. And welcome to Sinner's Cove. This is a Checkers creation, his newest creation in the game. And this looks like one that he spent a fair amount of time on. So what we've got here, there is more than 50 free ride jumps kind of dotted about everywhere. And he says he's built the terrain in a way that you can go and customize and make some of your own jumps if you want to. We've also got 3 tracks here. So we've got a Supercross track, which is based on the 2024 Seattle layout, tweaked a little bit to make it more fun in game, which I'm absolutely okay with. We have also got 2 outdoors tracks. Now, one of them is called Woodbury City MX, and being a Walking Dead fan, I'll be enjoying anything that has Woodbury in the name. If you get it, you get it. And then we also have, I think it's called Beaver. Let me check real quick. It is called Beaverdale Trails MX, which apparently started off as like trails, but for motorbikes. Then he's kind of built it up a little bit more, made it a bit wider. So I'm very interested to see how all of these ride, especially since the what I believe is the main outdoors track looks like this, with some very whooped out sand sections, which have my name written all over it. Now, there is a whole bunch of backstory and lore to this place as a whole. So if you want to go on to MXB Mods and load it up and have a read through it to get a bit of world building going on, then you are more than welcome to do so. However, we've got 3 different tracks to cover today, and I know that my intros already get pretty long as it is. So we're just going to go in, we're going to spin some laps on each and every one, and we will see how it goes.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Right, let's see what this is all about then. So I did want to just address, first and foremost, because it seems like out of Checker's creations that he's done so far on bikes, it seems like a lot of people seem to follow the same opinion of height map rides really, really well, but texturing seemed to be like the downfall, like overall appearance massively stepped up on this track. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's the amount of saturation on the decals or just the actual on track itself. Everything just looks a lot more highly detailed. It doesn't look as like smoothed out as the previous releases, and I really, really like it. It might just be one of them that works really well hand in hand with my my reshade settings as well. But absolute W so far. So the track that we are on right here, I actually don't know if this is the Beaver Trail or get over that, thank you, or if it's the Woodbury one. We will soon find out if we cross over any sandy sections. I believe it's the Beaver Trail one just by the looks of things so far. Get the brakes. One thing that was quite funny. So again, this is going to be another very, very niche reference. But if anybody it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, then you'll understand the word milk steak if I reference that to you. And when I was reading through the comments on this track, I saw someone by the name of Milksteak, which I thought was just very, very convenient since I literally watched that episode of It's Always Sunny like an hour before sitting down to record this, saying that I really want Linz or someone else to do a video on this because it's not on the servers and it really should be. And so far, it does seem like that should be the case. I have no idea what start gates are looking like around here, to be fair. I'm not sure if it's going to be a full 40-man or what, we shall see. What I am liking so far is the amount of different like variations in lines. When you go inside, step up and over here, you can go outside and then cut back down to the left side to go over that roller. It looks like it's very, very unique in terms of the lines and just how you flow around the track. But I expect no less from Checkers himself. I really, really don't. Like, he's proved time and time again over a numerous amount of games just how good he is at doing this stuff. And one thing that I do find impressive is what he's able to accomplish in Photoshop. Now, I know that comes from lots and lots of years of experience. Obviously, in my Photoshop knowledge is very, very poor. Now, when I want to do something in Photoshop, there's no easy way of me doing it. I feel like I butcher things a lot and do things very inefficiently and can never truly get like the not level of detail, that's not even the right thing, but the right, let's say if I want a tiny bit of elevation here without it affecting another bit of track, I just won't be able to link everything together, and I find it really, really difficult. But he's very, very experienced at this, so it's lovely to see. And I'm glad that he's kind of got the itch for doing stuff on bikes as well. I'm glad that it's not just like a one and done thing. You know, he's done sim for years and years and years and years, so it's nice to see him finding a little bit of love for the MX bike side of things. And I am always very willing to ride the tracks. Let's try it outside here. So we go outside. cut back down. Oh, we kind of split that tree in the middle. That's nice. So I like when people use the environment, so you can ride around the environment as well. And yeah, this track is not difficult by any means. There's a few jumps that I keep trying to scrub when I probably should send it, so I do apologise. I'll try and send one or two a bit more. And I like that it's not perfectly smooth. You see there's a little bit of roughness dotted around as well. And I think the overall feel of Sinner's Cove as a whole is it's more of a not abandoned, but, you know, not highly maintained. It's been taken over by the locals. They've had their way with it. Track gets a little bit beaten up, and I'm here for it. I really do like it. Can we triple this? Yep, tap the brake, up and over. Lovely. It actually looks like I've ridden on it before, and I can't imagine how fine he must have had, or low he must have had the opacity to draw in some of these lines. So it looks like the track's been pre-ridden on. He's done a really good job. Let's check up and go left side. So then we double up here, and then oh, that's a big floater. Jesus. Okay, I need to send that even further because you can quad that rather than going triple single. Hop back on. What's this inside like as well? I haven't taken this yet either. Hop and over and scrub. Lovely. I am just going to throw out there. I'm not sure what was wrong with me all the way since these OEM bikes originally released. But for whatever reason, I feel incredibly comfortable on the KTM now. And I remember saying time and time again, and I tried it multiple times as well, just trying to get my head around the KTM originally. And I just never enjoyed it. And I don't know if it's just because now I've forced myself to spend a good amount of time on it and learn all the ins and outs of the bikes, or if it's that I'm trying to ride a bit differently these days. But I definitely think the KTM is a bike that you want to ride a bit looser. You can't be like super precise and be smooth everywhere. You kind of have to let the bike hang out a bit. And in my last couple of races, it's gone really well. If you didn't see the Glen Helen race, then by all means go and watch it. The Moto 1 of Glen Helen, I think, is the best performance I've ever had in this game in the 3.5 years I've owned it. And then Moto 2, I've changed the title of the stream, to be fair, so you'll see. You already know what's going to happen. But I was heartbroken, but still really good racing. And it's something that I just don't expect myself usually to be able to keep up with the fast boys. So now that I'm actually getting there on a consistent basis as well, I'm really happy. I really am. So I'm excited for the outdoor season. Obviously, we've got Parlour happening on Friday, so we'll see how that goes. I'm a little bit worried because I've had some internet outages over the last day or so, so I'm hoping they will come together and fix themselves and it will be running fine by Friday. But until then, I can just cross my fingers and hope. So far, so good. Really enjoying the bike. Just feel nice, feel flowy, feel fast for the first time in quite a long time. So that is a big old W. And then hopefully you guys can stop by on Friday and watch me hopefully try and battle the very fast guys. And hopefully not get too frustrated when it doesn't go my way. Oh, I like this. The little transition from like one little island to the next. We'll go over here. So this is the Woodbury track now. So I'm going to see how this one goes. And already it just has a different style to it straight away. So the other track did seem almost it was like very rhythmy. You know, there was like lots of singles you could kind of chain together. We've already got tabletops on here and a bunch of sand added in as well. I do enjoy my sand. I really do. For whatever reason, the 450 really seems to be 450 in today. Like it is hooking up really well and getting the power to the ground, which is just how we like it. And I believe this track is a combination of soft soil on these bits and then obviously sand on the sandy bits. And it's just, oh my, that was a really nice floater. Can I hit? Oh, I tried hitting it up. I should have just hit it normally. Let's get down here, rail this bad boy. That first one in that section was so nice. It just booted you up to the sky. How far to the left does this turn? Oh my goodness, we're jumping gaps. Oh, okay, that's it. It's going really well. Oh god. So in terms of bike, usually a lot of tracks in this game, the 450 is a bit of overkill. Not the case here. The 450, I actually think thank you, Barbosa. 450 power-wise actually seems to be working really nicely for me so far. So big old W on that. You know, I haven't played that many sand tracks by Checkers before, but he does seem to have a really good feel for it. And there was a track on Sim, granted that I disappeared from Sim many years ago, so I don't know if it ever got released. But there was a track that I think he was working on, which was just pure sand, just completely whooped out rollers everywhere. I remember watching, it might have been a Hunter Route, like quick video that he done going around there. But it looked really, really good and really, really fun. And I'd love something like that to come to bikes, where it's not like necessarily a race track per se, but it's not like free ride area. It's almost like whooped out sand trails, but that you can hit really fast. You know, it's wide enough. It's not like skinny, skinny single track. And I'm not for the life of me going to have any idea what it might have been called or when it was. You know, when you just got something in the back of your brain that you remember seeing. I remember just seeing a really, really, really tough whooped out sand track on Sim years ago, and I really, really want something like that in this game as well. It's not like a replica or anything, and I think there's a special sort of talent needed to get sand rolls right and get everything linked together well and working together well. And I think that he is very, very good at doing that. Same with JV, to be fair, when it comes to JV sand tracks as well. And I'm also very excited to see how Southwick rides this year in the AMA series. So pressure do be on Stone Rider this year to get a nice flowy, rolly sand track. I very, very much look forward to that. I think last year's Southwick was okay. I think the Southwicks that we've had so far in the game, they've all been, I would say, maybe a little bit too mellow at times. We know how brutal Southwick gets towards the end of the day. I'd like to see that almost at the start in the game. And honestly, so the last, I haven't been paying attention to every single GP round, but the last at least 2, maybe 3, they've been running 0.05 erode, yet the bumps and I think the ruts have been slightly deeper to begin with. And I'm not against that. I don't mind that at all. So we have still got the erode to where the track changes throughout the race, but not to the crazy extent of where lines just become unrideable anymore. Because the game, they're in the constant battle with the game physics. Like the game can only do so much, can only handle so much. The erode, when it gets to a certain point, gets all like triangulated, and it doesn't form like bumps. It just performs these square ridges that, if you hit them, you're dead. There's no surviving it. And it comes down to a point where it's not down to technique anymore. It's down to luck to survive a certain rut, or you just spin off that rut entirely. And it would be nice to still be able to take a rut for every lap of the race. It just gets progressively more difficult without them becoming impossible. One thing that I always find strange is I think the erode is slightly different from person to person. So most of it is server-side, and I think there's an element of client-side as well. And it's weird, because I've been in servers before, and like, let's say a track is reset, for example, and occasionally you get some like really weird like holes or spikes appear on the track. And I've been in calls before with people, and I'll be like, you can see that too, right? And they're just like, no. So imagine some of these bumps and holes that are forming in the races are on your screen, but maybe they're not as severe for other people. I find that to be a really weird situation. 100% it's a fault of the game, I think, rather than a fault of the tracks being built. So it does need a little bit of attention given to it at some point. Maybe one day. I think there's a kart racing pro update being worked on at the moment. Then after that, I believe the attention's going back to bikes. Although I'm not sure what the priority is at the moment. I've got no idea what's going to be worked on first. But yeah, there's a plethora of things at the moment, isn't there? I mean, the netcode could be doing with it being a bit better. That's been the case for a very, very long time. We've got the issue at the moment where if somebody leaves and rejoins a server on a different bike, then we kind of have the glitch where there's 2 people inside of each other, and if that happens, other random people in the server, their games will crash during the next race, or their screen will be flickering the whole time. We've had glitches like the black box glitch for a really, really long time, although I've not had that for a hot minute, but there's not really any points these days where I hop in and out of servers within the same session for it to happen, so I haven't had that for a while. But yeah, there's all sorts of weird and random stuff that really, really does need looking at and fixing, just for, even if it's just like quality of life updates, just to make the game a bit more stable and just work on the infrastructure, more than new like game-breaking physics updates. I think it's more important to make the game as stable as possible before we work on anything else. That's just my opinion. I know you guys all have your own individual opinions on what needs changing on the game the most, but yeah, maybe one day, maybe. Hopefully, maybe for next year's races. I mean, by next Supercross, that'd be nice to have a really, really stable game. We might even have new bikes by then. I saw the post that they put in the MX Bikes Discord the other day in the news channel about working on tyres and bike updates, etc. And I see a lot of people not happy with that. And I've also seen people have been taking screenshots from other people's streams being like, oh, it's all Lindsay's fault. He wants worse traction, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you that the OEM team were on that same wavelength before I mentioned anything, and it's only since I mentioned it that they've said, yeah, we're working on that anyway. So I promise you, it's not on me, so don't hate me too much, Mr. Dawson. I 100% much, much, much prefer the flow of this track than the other one, and I can't put my finger on it as to why. I feel like this track lets you attack it a little bit more, and just the way that these jumps just float you up and over these gaps is so satisfying. It's weird, isn't it, how the environment can make a jump feel so much different? Because I guarantee if you've done those same jumps with no gap and no lake that you're jumping over, then it probably wouldn't feel anywhere near as cool. It would feel like nice and floaty still, but yeah, it wouldn't be on the same level. I love the sand so far. The sand has been really enjoyable. It seems like you can double and triple and wheel tap slash wheelie your way through them, and really good job on this one. But like I said originally, I think Checkers, when it comes to sand, has a really good knack for getting something that flows nicely. And it's just the way that the jumps kind of boot you up in the air. It's really nice. The scenery is beautiful as well. The skybox, nice and bright. Again, the on-track decals, everything looks really good. I should say texturing rather than decals. I'm not playing Sim anymore these days. But yeah, really good job, well done. So I suppose to round things off, we need to try the Supercross track, because we don't have many rough SX tracks in this game. And just from the screenshots, it looks like he's done some like not ruts as such, but grooves. So we'll see how they affect the riding, if they affect it at all. So yeah, with the power of editing, I will see you on the Supercross track. Somebody help me. I'm under the water. Please help me. Oh, yeah, where is this track over? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Right, so this is... Oh, Mr. Checkers. 40 gates on a Supercross track. Yeah, I love you so much. Thank you. Ah, oh, that's made this infinitely even better. Right, let's see how this goes. So, Mr. Riesenberg is also the mastermind behind a very... Where does that go? Hang on. Oh, hang on, what have we stumbled across? Okay, no, never mind. We are back. Back onto the first track. Let's get back over here. Okay. So he's also the mastermind behind what was a extremely rutted, rough Supercross track that is almost impossible to do a clean lap on Sim back in the day as well. And I know this is nowhere near to that extent, but I know it's in his DNA. I know he likes to add a little bit of roughness to the tracks, and I'm here for it. I am not... Oh, God. I am not a fan of these perfectly groomed Supercross tracks that we get these days. I like it to be a little bit on the rough side. Although I feel like sometimes when it comes to the roughness on the aerial SX tracks, especially on like the outside lines of corners, it can get a little bit silly with how much rough there is, especially on the exits. I know the reason for it is to stop us getting enough speed to be able to hit like these massive quads. But I'd like to see, even if it's like some more chatter going into the fast corners rather than coming out, I think that would still do quite a similar job. It'll get the bike unsettled enough to where you can't just crank it over and hit it third gear pinned. So far, this feels actually really nice and flowy. Seems like the jump faces are quite peaky as well, and I know that this whole thing originally was for him to work on like Supercross scaling. So far, so good. Feels alright. Can we hit some... Oh. I think that's doable. Right, Lynn's big line testing time. Let's see if we can hit that quad. Maybe I've got to come out wider, hit this with a bit more speed, and then oh, hit the low side. Oh, still over it. Hit the brake tap. Go on, quad. Oh! Can't stop. Addicted to the shindig. Drop top. I said you're going to win big. So there are some big lines available in here. I only doubled into this section last time. I mean, if I stop here, can you see... Let me turn around. Can you see just the difference in the lip and the takeoff as well? And it's stuff like this that must just take so long for like trial and error, where there's a high side on the left and like a lower right side on the right-hand side. And it's very cool. It must take so much time to actually get this all dialed and working fine. So we go triple. I feel like you can probably bust out a quad in there somewhere, so you don't have to single into the corner. And then we'll skim this bad boy. I'm happy that he left the wall jump out at the end of that whoop section, that they had their IRL, just for the sake of making it flow better in game. And he's even said that himself. Like, it's not a 100% replica from IRL, because you still do need a bit of fun factor for the game as well. Realistic tracks are fun, but within reason. So I know there's certain like people's local tracks that they want to see in game, and then they get it, and it's like it's a little bit boring because the game's maybe not physics as such, but when you're playing a video game, you want to have fun. You either want to be challenged a little bit, or you want to be able to like send some big whipper tails absolutely sideways or upside down. And for the case of a lot of real tracks, when you put them in game, they can almost be a little bit boring in terms of layout. So my Riverside track has so many extra jumps that I've thrown in there compared to IRL, because in real life there's like 3, 4, maybe 5 corners where there is nothing other than straights and corners. And whilst that is okay from a realism standpoint, and when you're riding IRL, it probably doesn't matter too much anyway, because you're just trying to go as fast as you can regardless, just trying to stay on the bike. In a video game, you kind of need a challenge a little bit more. So, yeah, we like throwing extra bits in. Ooh. Okay, I'm surprised they're stuck in that rut that well, because it comes at you at a bit of a sharp angle there. Triple, very, very floaty. Love to see it. Let's try not to wad myself in the sand. That does not call me Jet Lawrence. At least there's no Cooper Webbs on the lookout for me to run into their back wheel. Yeah, yeet. What God? I'm just going to go triple and then double into the corner so I can actually stop for it. What if I cut down here? We double in, then we go triple. Go on, still get that. Stretch it. Oh, 450 power. You love to see it. And then double out, so we haven't got a single out. Then the whoop section is very easy. It looks a little bit more difficult than it actually is, just where it's got high spots and low spots. But it seems like just get on the power, get off the back of the bike a tiny bit, not all the way, and it seems to track through there like a trooper. And for bike setup right now, I haven't even got a Supercross setup for this KTM. I'm still running the outdoors one that I ran on Glen Helen. Didn't run it on Sweden, although I tested it around Sweden after the racing and really enjoyed it. But I also... No, actually, no, this wasn't the one I tried at Lommel. I had a separate sand one for Lommel. So the setup that I've got on the bike right now, it's a weird one because it's a mishmash of two other people's setups. So like geometry from one and then suspension from another that I've slapped on that I seem to really enjoy. However, I gave it to Charlie to try. It was on San Bernardino 2007 when he was practicing before the actual Glen Helen race. And he couldn't go around the track on it. He said he absolutely hated it. And then there's setups that he really enjoys and gets around the track well on that I've tried, and I can't get around the track on it. So it's very interesting seeing how different riding styles and setups work differently for different people, which is always why when it comes to people offering me like good suspensions in Discord or people saying in chat change this and change that, I don't think it's that easy. It's not a one size fits all when it comes to suspension. Different people have different things. I 100% am going to turn around and try and double all the way up and over that. Which they were doing in real life as well, I believe, weren't they? So, yeah, happy to see that we can do this in game too. It was something that I was trying to do on the aerial version. There was just no real smooth way of doing it. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to get it 100% clean, but you could kind of tap the top of it and get away with it. But yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind. Whether that's by design, where you can just barely get your front wheel up and over, or if it's just a happy coincidence, I really don't care. But scaling-wise, I'm a very happy man. This does seem to flow nicely. It feels right. I don't think I actually can bust out any corners in this section, so it might be triple, single. But I like how he's done the ruts in the corner, where they are on the exit, so if you want to try and pass someone up the inside, you still can do so, like going up the inside here to pass them or block pass and then still getting a rut. I think that's the correct way of doing rough in Supercross. If the rut starts a bit too early, then yeah, you're kind of all locked into your lines, whereas if they are on the exit of the corner, it does make a little bit more sense. And I think it's a bit more realistic that way as well. I mean, when you watch real life ones, especially if it's been a rutty race, the entrance to the corner usually isn't that bad, but then on the exit, you'll get 5, 6, 7 different ruts where they just cut down harder and harder and harder throughout the day, depending on how the track forms. So yeah, I think Checkers has done a very, very good job of this. You can even quad into this section as well. Hang on. I need to do... There's actually so many different line choices around here that I'm kind of just discovering. So let me try this one as well. We'll get back on the track here. I'm 100% going to crash shortly. Oh, no, it's fine. And then... And it's fine. Right. Carry a bit more speed around the outside. Try and stay low. Yeah, yeet. Oh, no, not quite. That is going to be a bit of a tricky one, because you have to go so far out wide and then try and barely leave the ground on the roller before it. But it is doable, so that is an option if you wish to do so. So overall, Sinner's Cove gets a big old 2 thumbs up from me. I'm very, very happy with this. And just based on the comments on mods and the ratings on mods as well, it's got 5 stars from everyone that's voted for it so far or rated it. It seems like everyone else is really, really enjoying it as well. And just based on the Supercross track alone, having 40 gates, I believe every track should do that. So again, he's taken feedback on board from previous tracks too and made some slight changes, and you love to see it. So I'm very, very happy that he's here with us now and making some tracks for the community, because we need it. We really, really do. So let me know your thoughts as well, and thank you very much for being here also, and hopefully enjoying the video. There you go, that was a little cleaner. If you have enjoyed, please do drop a little like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you're up to, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.
I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt